Hello, Blokees fans. This is Speedball Hunter for you guys. I have you for a very interesting review and a very surprising review because this is Blokees' new prequel series, 55th anniversary Sesame Street line of mini models. And yes, you heard me correct, friends. This is a Sesame Street line. Yeah. I'm as surprised as you probably might be because I totally did not see this coming. And I mean, then again, it's Blokees, and I have to give them credit, friends. This brand is very much venturing out into tons of brands that you would not expect. But yes, these are fun little mini models in their Precool series, which, of course, real quick, if you do not know, the Precool line of Blokees is a line of pretty much like chibi slash kitty like models. I mean, one of their lines they have done is Ultraman, and I know one of their bigger lines they did is their Spider-Man, or I believe it's the Spidey Friends series they did, and such. So yeah, these are of course a part of the same line, and it is a very interesting setup, of course, because I never thought at my age I'd actually own an Elmo like this. So, yeah, very interesting. And these are fun little models, honestly, easy to build, and do not have to worry if you're wondering, just like there are other brands of units. No, these are not technically blind boxes because all the boxes are labeled with the character. So, don't, if you're worried about that, don't. And there's only 4 in this volume, so it's a very short line, but it's a very fun one in that sense because all these have very nice details, color accuracy, and just fun posabilities, of course, for kids and such to play with, and so forth, and other just fun, accurate detailing to their characteristics. It's really cool. I really like it. It's fun. And just like you see with Elmo and our old buddy Cookie Monster here, they look really nice, fully sized. So if you're wondering, do you put your hand like a puppet deal? Because, we're talking about Sesame Street now. They all have legs and so forth, so don't worry. And it's just so cool. I like it. Even other more newer characters, like if I remember her name correctly, Abby, it's a very nicely detailed little model, very accurate, and in her case, very pretty, so to speak. It's really cool. And then, of course, sorry about that. As you just saw with our old buddy Big Bird. Yeah, this one is a really interesting one out of the line, but for a lot of reasons that I'll go into in a bit. But it's really cool to see Big Bird in a model kit form. I'm not going to lie. It's like surprising. It would be like something I would never expected in my life to see, but well, it's in front of me, isn't it? But it's really cool. Now you're probably wondering how well are the accessories or articulation and all that. Well, let's go into our accessories real quick. As you can see with our old buddy Elmo, he does carry with him, so to speak, his accessories, which is a very easy to clip on backpack accessory, and it doesn't really do anything, but it does open up really. So that's pretty much its big gimmick. So you can store, for example, his little book he comes with, which shows his buddy David in there. And it opens and closes just like a regular book. So that's pretty interesting. I never would have expected that. But other accessories he does come with, and so does Cookie Monster in this specific case, is a spare set of eyes. So if you want to rip out his eyes, so to speak, you can and swap them with literal googly eyes. I'm not kidding when I tell you that, friends. If you give me one quick second. And there they are, my friends, the very interesting and very verbal, so to speak, googly eyes. It's a very toy-like gimmick for sure, especially for older kids like myself to see. And it's just very interesting, rattles and all that like a regular toy like this. So it's very interesting to see, I won't lie. And of course, you can, of course, store his other spare eyes into the backpack here, I believe. Yep, so you don't have to worry about losing them, so there's that. And just like Elmo, Cookie Monster, of course, has his own spare set of eyes to do the same with if you want. No, but Big Bird or Abby, they do not have that. But in Abby's case, she does come with a very interesting accessory, which I am very rare to see for models and such. Suction cups. Yes, she comes with a pair of suction cups. You can attach these to her feet, and I'm pretty certain to her little back wing set here, like such. And of course, you can attach them to any surface that you, of course, would attach any suction cup to. I honestly was surprised to see this as an accessory. I'm not gonna lie. Now for Big Bird, no, he's pretty much as you see him. That's it. There's nothing else. As you can see, that's it. He only comes with his good buddy here, and that is literally it. Now for articulation wise, they're all of them are interesting in that way because certain ones have pretty good articulation and others sort of limited. Like for Elmo here, he's pretty good. He's got a double joint setup, so you can full 360 there. Arm bends out that far, this far. Elbow can bend about that far. Full wrist and hand articulation, of course. His legs can move, well, they can't move straight out, sorry, but he can move about that far out, that far back, and of course with a leg bend, you can go so far, oh, excuse me, like such, and of course a ball jointed foot with just easy posability and such like that, and so forth. Now for like Cookie Monster, well, he does have a decent amount of articulation due to his size, even for this big shell body he has and such, because just like Big Bird and Elmo, they came with this very big shell part. Very easy to assemble, of course. But yeah, but because of it, he does have some limitations. Now, arm-wise, he's pretty good. Full 360 ball joint, as you can see, sadly my mistake. But he also has a arm bend. He can go so far, and he has a full wrist turn, so there's that. And as you can see with his other hand, he can hold his ultimate accessory, a chocolate chip cookie. And he, of course, does have a head articulation, so he can turn as much as he wants up and down, and of course, num num, num num num. As for leg, that's where some of the limitation is because he doesn't have like a knee bend or anything, so he does have limits, but not too bad, honestly. You could still pull off some fun poses with him. Ball jointed feet and such, and he can do the splits if you wanted and such. All right. Now, like for Abby, like with Abby, she has some of her own limitations, but she also has some advantages. Like with Elmo, she has a full arm rotation, no problems, complete hi, how you doing kind of deal. As you can see, and just like with Elmo, same kind of hands, so full turn with no problem. Waist, however, not so much because of her special skirt here. Oh, dress, sorry. She does have head articulation. Ooh, okay. Her little pom-pom, her hair, of course, can turn if you want. And she does have her wand accessory, so there's that. Now, legs, due to the dress here, does have some limits. You can do, of course, some fun poses still. Does have the leg bends, just like Elmo, like this. So she can pull off some fun feet poses no matter what. So she will stand, and of course, fun other flight poses if you want to put her in and such like that. Now, Big Bird, unfortunately, is the one that probably suffers the most when it comes to articulation. I'm not being mean when I say this. I say this to be as honest as possible because due to his, let's just say his big shelly gut here, he does have decent articulation for arms and such because he has a ball jointed setup, but he doesn't have like an arm bend in this case because it's just, and I'm not saying this is a joke, he literally has a chicken wing style arm. Literally, it's just a bend, that's it. But he does have hand articulation, so you can turn his hands all the way around if you want. His tail has some articulation if you wanted. He does have a head articulation too. It's a little stiff, but it's nothing bad. And he does actually have a mouth articulation, so you can actually get him to talk. That's pretty cool. Now, the legs, however, are like the only parts that are a little restricted in a sense because of how this shell forms to the body and the way the grooves are designed for his legs, which would normally wouldn't be an issue, but as you can see, it also limits poses with him. I mean, he does have a leg bend and foot articulation too, but you can't really bend out much, like this kind of deal, and only go so far that way with his leg and such. So it may be limited, but you can still pull off some fun classical big bird poses. So there's that. And such like that. So yes, these are fun little little models, my friends. They're easy to assemble and very much very fun for little kids, of course, to enjoy and such like that, especially if they enjoy Sesame Street. Now, I don't know if we'll see more Sesame Street related releases. I would say it's possible. I can't say it's out of the question. And it would be interesting. Okay, now before we go, let's take a quick size comparison with just some other blocky stuff. Let's take our old buddy Elmo here, and let's look at, say, a Galaxy Defenders Transformers. Literally, as you can see, he's that tall, which is fun too, because this would be almost like a toy for Elmo in a sense because of how small he is. But let's take a look at a more standard size Galaxy Edition Optimus, and as you can see, about almost the same size. Optimus is just a wee bit smaller. So yeah, if you were wondering the sizes wise, this would be the closest I could tell you offhand. So yes, final thoughts. Do I recommend these? I could. I really can't say. I mean, I didn't get it. I mean, I paid a pretty good deal for these. I didn't get gypped or anything, and for the price I paid for them, yeah, these would be fun. And like I said, especially for kids, if you're looking for something fun for a kid to play with, and you don't want them to work on something too big, and you want something just more for kids, these would definitely be perfect. I mean, you can pick the character you want, and each one of these are favorite characters from the franchise. And yeah, there's just no wrong way with these. So, so yes, I can absolutely recommend these, especially for kids, as long as, of course, age appropriate. But yes, other than that, yes, that's it. I thank you always for coming. I hope you're, of course, enjoying your hobby, and I hope you all decide to visit Sesame Street this week. Thank you always for coming.